All right, so 6:01, 9:01 Eastern time. I'm not going to have anyone wait. I'm just going to hop on, and if they miss the beginning, then we can watch it on the replay, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'm so excited to have you on. One of my dearest friends, Gisela. Let me just tell you who Gisela is if you don't know who she is. She has been a total badass mom, working mom, business owner, dietitian for the last 11 years. Not a mom for the last 11 years, but recently a mom for the last couple of years. And you're known as the anti-diet dietitian. Your main focus is really to get in with clients and teach them about intuitive eating. Mm-hmm. You have been featured in Self, Pop Sugar, US News, Reader's Digest, Shape Magazine, I'm getting the chills, Redbook, and ABC News. And that's just to name like literally a small amount. My friend, welcome, Gisela.
Thank you so much, Darlene. That was a fabulous introduction. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I mean, you're amazing. So I'm super excited to have you on. So really today, I'm going to be chatting about, or I'm going to be asking you questions in regards to a plant-based diet. I know that you primarily live a plant-based diet, and it's something that we've talked about for the last couple of years, really teaching people the goods and the bads. There's a lot of myths out there, and a lot of people think a lot of weird stuff about being vegan or being plant-based. So just want to kind of clear the air. I've gotten questions from family members, followers, longtime friends, people that are interested in going vegan. So I'm just going to kind of go through them and we'll take it as they come. And if anyone else has any questions, I'll try and get through them. If you want to put them in the feed as we're talking, I'll scroll through and make sure that we get to those, try and get to those today as well. Okay, all right, awesome. So let's get started. Is soy bad for you?
No, that's probably one of the number one questions that people who are interested in going plant-based, or people who are complete carnivores, are like, well, I don't eat soy because it's bad for you. And there's actually there's not enough data to support that soy is bad. It doesn't make men grow boobs, and it doesn't cause cancer in women. Actually, the data shows that soy protein is actually very, very good for you. So it actually helps to prevent cancer. So soy is not bad.
Awesome. Does soy increase your level of estrogens in your body? And if so, does that make a difference? If it does, which I don't know if it does or doesn't, does that affect men or women differently?
So no. So I haven't read anything where it actually correlates and your estrogen levels increase. So it's not one of my specialties when it comes to hormone levels. However, not that I'm aware of, but what it does, soy has phytoestrogen, so it actually helps to support women who are like menopausal, for example. Right. So I mean, eat your soy. It's good for you and it's delicious.
Good. It is. I know it's so good. Like I like to say, is you got to layer in the flavor. Layer the flavor. Okay. So how do you live being a vegan? Where do you get your protein from? Okay.
So almost everything you eat is going to have protein. Actually, the standard American diet overconsumes protein. So, even fruit, a gram here and there, but really like your starchy vegetables are going to have protein in them. Beans, legumes, nuts, seeds are going to have protein in them. So you have to consider that you're getting protein all the time in all the meals that you're consuming. So you're going to get protein.
Right. And even in vegetables and quinoa and all sorts of different things. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, and it's funny too, because there's yet to be a study that any vegan is protein deficient, but for some reason people do think that we need so much protein. So for what's out there, the information that's out there for how much protein that we need either to live or to be healthier, is that in line with what you can actually intake as a vegan, or do you need to supplement and take additional supplements in order to get more protein?
So I don't believe you need a supplement. You can definitely meet your protein requirements being on a plant-based diet. So some people just, if they are looking for more muscle gain, or they actually, let's say they're athletes and they expend a lot of energy, they utilize a lot of muscle, then they will supplement in a sense of like a plant-based protein powder or something like that, or fortifying their foods like with hemp seeds and I'm trying to think, and nut butters and things like that. But really, we look at sometimes, a trainer will tell you, well, you need like 1.5 grams per kilo to gain muscle. And you don't need that much. You really don't. I mean, there's some data that says, yes, I think it really depends on the individual. But I think the World Health Organization like you only need like 0.6 grams per kilo as far as protein requirements are concerned. So it's actually a lot less than what people actually, I mean, even for somebody who's healthy in the clinical world, we'll calculate 0.8 grams per kilo. So it's actually very minimal.
Right. Okay. And another tip too, if somebody's very concerned about getting enough protein and you don't want to supplement, hemp seeds, it's either 3 teaspoons or 3 tablespoons is 10 grams.
10 grams. Yeah. And nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons is 8 grams.
Yep. So I usually put a tablespoon of nutritional yeast on my breakfast every morning of my tofu scramble. And then also any lunch that I have, a salad or dinner, I throw hemp seeds right on it. I mean, by the end of the day, I'm ready to like literally pick up my fiance, and he's 6'7". Maybe, I'm just kidding. Maybe not. Okay. So this is a funny question. Will a vegan diet affect your skin tone?
I mean, it shouldn't. In fact, like you're consuming so many vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients that it actually will help your skin tone, in my opinion. So I've never heard of a plant-based diet, unless they're considering like if you're eating a lot of vitamin A and in that you're getting so much beta carotene to where your skin can actually turn orange. That actually happened to me years ago. I was like on a sweet potato and carrot kick. I mean, also, I was also, very malnourished. It was like, this is another story for a different life. I was in my, but basically I was eating a lot of vitamin A and my palms started getting orange. So that's the only time I would say that it would affect you. But
oh my goodness. So Jersey Shore should be eating a lot of carrots. They wouldn't have to go tanning then.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, the beta carotene help that flow. So
I love it. And then also, does having a vegan diet affect your energy levels and then your weight? Which, I mean, between you and I think that's more of an experience. I mean, for me, I feel like I'm healthier than ever. My skin feels great. My energy level is actually considerably better than it's ever been. Is there some type of scientific connection to that, or even a medical connection to that, or just your experience?
So this is how I look at it as far as energy level is concerned. So when you're on a more plant-based diet, you're eating more carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrates, are our fuel source, the body's #1 source of energy. So we're getting a lot of glycogen stores into those muscles. We're constantly getting energized. When you are, not to say that everybody is, so when you're involved in like diet culture, you're listening to, low carb diet, eating a lot of protein, animal proteins, not starchy veggies, what you're doing is limiting your intake of carbs, so that can affect your energy level. However, if you still eat animal proteins and you still have the balance of all macronutrients, you should be still okay as far as energy levels are concerned. But as far as plant-based, having low energy, not that I'm aware of.
Right. I know. I almost feel like my brain is actually working better than it ever has. And I typically have no digestive problems. We can talk about digestive stuff later, but I will tell you that that's been a big life changer for me. I've been healthier than ever in that sense. So it feels good for that. We won't talk about number 2. Anyways, let's see. Being vegan, do you have issues getting calcium or iron? And if so, what can you eat?
Very good question. So as far as calcium is concerned, Melissa with her poop emojis. Calcium, most plant-based milks that are sold at grocery stores, that's probably going to be your #1 source of calcium. That's that they are fortified. Or when you buy tofu, it's going to be fortified. And things like nut butter, a lot of fruits and vegetables will have a little bit of calcium in them too. So it does add up. More than anything, cereals, plant-based milks are going to be fortified with calcium. As far as iron is concerned, you're going to get a ton of iron from beans and legumes is like your #1 source. And also like green leafy vegetables, a ton of iron. So for me, actually, I realized that when I went more plant-based, I started becoming less anemic because I tend to be anemic very, I will try to go in blood and I'm too anemic. It's actually been less because I am so focused on making sure that I'm so satisfied that I'm actually eating more at being on a plant-based diet, and I'm actually meeting my iron levels.
Right. No, I totally agree. I mean, I literally put spinach in probably every meal that I eat.
Yeah.
And cost effective. A couple people had questions in regards to if being vegan is more expensive than not being vegan. And I mean, for me, like you could literally eat vegan and eat fast food. You could buy a huge bag of spinach and still be vegan. If you just focus on just shopping in the produce section, what do you think is cheaper per pound? Vegetables.
Yeah.
Meat is what's a lot more expensive per pound. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree. And things like, you know, considering if you're going to be plant-based, consider foods that are in season, which is always going to be cheaper. And also, you know, go to your local farmers markets, that you're always going to get more bang for your buck there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's things to consider. Meat is more expensive per pound. Things like a pack of tofu is like $3. So, right. you know, if he's looking as far as, oh, it's more expensive to be plant-based, just because they look in the correlation of that, you know, fast food is cheaper than, you know, going to get a salad. So if we look at it in that aspect, yes, I'm losing light here, I'm sorry. But it's not actually. So you just have to learn your way around the grocery store and then where you can get things that are in season.
I love it. That's such a good tip, to buy food that's in season, and you can easily Google that. There's lists that tell you literally of the 4 seasons what to buy, and usually there's things on sale. And yeah, great tip. I love that one. I love that one. Okay. So you and I talked about this one the other day, but someone brought up that they can't have too much vitamin K, which is mostly found in leafy greens. So I just wanted to address that.
Okay. Yeah. So somebody may not be able to consume a lot of vitamin K. It may be a blood clotting issue. So if they've dealt with blood clots before, or they're on a blood thinner, then that may be the concern. So, however, you can still be plant-based and not overly consume green leafy vegetables that are going to be high in vitamin K. And also, the biggest thing to consider is that when a doctor will dose a blood thinner medication, it's based on basically the thickness of your blood then. So you should actually be consistent with your vitamin K intake. Let's say, you know, you have 2 servings of green veggies a day on average. That's what you should stick to, because if you go from that you like your spinach and kale and then not eat it at all, you actually, that'll affect the medication dose. So that would be, when you told me that question, that would be the only thing that came into mind as far as vitamin K being an issue.
Right. I love it. Yeah. I mean, more than anything, really just being consistent in regards to what you're eating, especially if you have a medical issue. Just to be, right. I'd obviously consult your doctor and consult a registered dietitian, but making sure that you're really just sticking with something that's consistent and healthy for you. So exactly. I love it. So I want to get I want to answer a couple questions, but I do want to jump to really what you focus on in regards to intuitive eating, because I do believe that being vegan is so intuitive with your body. And I just want you to chat a little bit in regards to how you coach people in regards to what is intuitive eating. When you feel like you're craving something, what type of food do you lean towards, and things like that?
Right. Okay, awesome. So I appreciate that. So what I do is I focus on intuitive eating, and I also focus on mindful eating. So mindful eating is eating with intention and paying attention. So you're not on the phone and eating, you're not driving and eating, you aren't watching TV. So you're sitting down at a table and you're actually focusing on how hungry you are and how full you are, and satisfying. You're paying attention to your fullness, in the sense that you're making sure that you're not under eating or overeating. So once you get that mindful practice, then you can become more intuitive. Like, what does my body really desire? Melissa's saying guilty. What does my body really desire? And you know, and honoring that. So for me, it was intuitive to become more plant-based. It was one day I kind of woke up and I was like, you know, I don't really want to eat poultry anymore. And my husband was like, are you feeling okay? I was like, yeah, went for a while, I wasn't eating any fish at all. And I just needed to, Melissa says I'm eating while I'm watching. So, and not to say that, you know, we can be mindful always because life happens, but it's about honoring when you can actually sit and my friend Amy always says, like, rest and digest. And so when somebody, for example, I had a consultation yesterday with a client who wants to go more plant-based. And so we sat down and she was like, what can I do? Where can I get my protein? We talked about all that, but more than anything, we talked about her mindfulness and intuitiveness. I said, when you desire something to eat, honor that. Jen, I remember when you and I talked and you went vegan, you're like, so I'm just always hungry. And I was like, honor that, Jen. You know, when you're hungry, your body's asking you for nourishment. So feed it. And think about what you want, and it's going to give you that satisfaction, that satiety, and honor your body what it wants, whether it's a big bowl of fruit, whether it's a sandwich, whether it's something sweet, whatever it is that you have that satiety and that satisfaction to where your body's not going to be like, gosh, but you didn't give me what I wanted, and now I want something else, and then you're kind of grazing. So it's kind of like that vicious cycle and honoring what your body needs.
Right. Right. Wow. You just hit the nail on the head, especially with my transition in regards to being vegan for about the last year and a half. The first couple months, nothing could satiate me. I called you one day and I'm like, I don't know what else to eat. Like, I've literally eaten everything in the house. I'm eating an entire watermelon. You're like, eat the watermelon if that's what you're craving right now. And I'm like, I'm literally going to eat the whole watermelon. You're like, you're probably just really thirsty. Why don't you drink some water? And today specifically, oh, hi, Sandy. And today specifically, where my hunger level is from where it was before is so different. But I'm also used to making those meals. So something that I've been doing for myself is literally when I'm sitting there and eating, I have a Tupperware next to me, next to my food. And once I'm done, I'm done. And that's been so helpful because I know that in the beginning I was so hungry to eat so much. And now my body is like, I'm getting what I'm needing. You're putting more nutrition into me. Instead of me supplementing, and I don't mean supplementation in regards to vitamins, but I mean supplementing meat with like a vegan burger that tasted like a vegan burger or vegan cheese, actually eating fruits, vegetables, a stir fry full of stuff. And my body's like, okay, we're done. And that's when I'm like, okay, now I'm putting it aside. Now I'm having leftovers for later. And that is huge. So you're right. I have been doing it. It's so hard. I just want to pick up my phone and go on Instagram, but I don't.
It's really hard. But the reality is that it's a natural born instinct. I tell everybody when we're babies, we cry when we're hungry, we push the boob or the bottle away when we're full, and it's hunger is a natural born sensation and fullness is a natural sensation. So it's honoring whether you're plant-based, or you go animal-based. The reality is if you are plant-based, you're going to get hungry sooner, especially if you're transitioning, because animal protein is a lot more filling. It's a lot more satisfying as far as it takes longer to digest. Right. So plants are going to go through you a little bit quicker.
Right.
So, it's about kind of going through the motions like you had talked about a year and a half ago. And I was like, girl, just eat it. Your body will adjust. Just let it do what it's got to do.
Right. Right. No, I love it. I love it. It's funny. Sandy actually, who's on here, who is amazing, meditation coach. I'm going to plug my girlfriend because she's awesome. And she had said to me, because I was having an issue with like this intuitive eating thing, and Melissa and Sandy were both in town. And I just watched the way that she like made love to her food. And now it's been like this ongoing joke with like, you think your food is so sexy. But I mean, let's be serious. We all want to eat things that are beautiful, that taste good. So having that moment with your food, have an intimate moment. That's going in your body. You're welcoming that into your body. Have that moment. If you want to sing to it, have that moment and sing to it, but enjoy it while you can, because otherwise it's over within a moment and you're like, what did I just eat?
Yeah.
I didn't know what I had for breakfast this morning.
Well, and mindful eating is using all five senses when it comes to nourishment. And that's the thing, is that you should enjoy your meal. Food creates memories, traditions, experiences, moments. Talk dirty to me, broccoli. So, I always say your food should visually be appealing. You should be able to feel the different textures in your mouth, different flavors, smell the different aromas. And then also you should be able to hear yourself chew and also listen to something pleasant. I don't want to listen to the news about all the horrible things that are going on in the world while I'm eating, because I'm not enjoying my food, no matter if it's broccoli, like Melissa's saying, or it's a big piece of cake. I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's about really integrating fully as to into your nourishment.
Right. I love it. Okay, so talk to me about a day in the life of what you eat. What do you typically make for breakfast? I know that you're always talking about food that goes into your body, your daughter's body. Like, what is a typical day in the life of like breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because everyone always wants to know if I'm not eating eggs, or I'm not eating a cheeseburger, or if I'm not having a pot roast for dinner, what am I eating?
Yeah. All right. So in the morning, I kind of go through phases as to what I desire in the morning. But right now, my biggest kick for like the past couple months has been sweet and savory toast in the morning. Ooh. So I get 2 slices of whole grain toast, which have a ton of protein, by the way, because it's a grain. So I'll have like maybe like a savory hummus, like a cucumber hummus or some kind of spread. And then I love putting hemp seeds and veggies on top. And then my sweet one will be either dessert hummus or like a nut butter with like granola on top. That's usually my go-to. It is like heaven in my mouth.
I'm changing my breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah. And then usually then like I'll have some kind of snack. I love rice cakes with some kind of topping on it. I just like you, Jen, I put hemp seeds on everything. My friend Libby did an interview on me a couple weeks ago. She's like, "What's your favorite food trend?" And I was like, hemp seeds, because I literally go through bags full in a month. And my husband used to make fun of me oatmeal every single day. I'm so crazy that I became a Manitoba Harvest ambassador just so I can like get discount stuff. Yeah.
I want to be a Manitoba ambassador. You'll have to tell me about that later.
So then lunch, I usually do, I love having, I get veggie burgers, these vegan veggie burgers from Aldi's, super cheap. They're really delicious. Got 11 different veggies in it. I love putting that in the toaster oven over a bed of greens and some kind of maybe like a bean-based pasta. I love bands of pasta, chickpea pasta. I always like to do raid your fridge meals. I work primarily at home. So whatever's in my fridge, I kind of put together. And dinner, I usually will have some kind of tofu, some kind of tempeh. I love tempeh scramble. So my husband will grill tofu for me. A couple weeks ago, I discovered like the vacuum sealed tofu that's not in the water, which is like extra firm, and that you can cut into cubes really nice. And I did like kind of like the shake and bake back in the day. So I put a bunch of spices and herbs and I just shook it in a big like Pyrex, and then it came out and I baked it. It was so crispy and delicious. It was amazing.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I love when you start to talk about food, like the Gisela, the Hispanic Gisela comes out. She's like, let me tell you about the food that I'm eating right now. It's so good. You just gotta
so good. So good. So yeah, I have like vegetables, and I'm like, I like to cook, but I don't like to spend more than like 15 minutes cooking. So I'm all about like steaming some veggies really quick, putting on a bed of greens, and call it a day. So
Right.
the other day, my mother-in-law made this, if you guys see my Instagram, this amazing like eggplant loaf. It looked like meatloaf, but it was totally eggplant, and it was the bomb. See, I don't have patience to make something like that, but she did, so I ate it. It was
Yeah. I love that. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Okay, so we have just a couple minutes left. I'm just going to chat about what I eat in a day to give people a couple more ideas, because I feel like people are constantly asking me about what we're eating. So I normally have a tofu scramble in the morning. I always say breakfast is such an amazing time for you to get your vegetables in, get your fiber in. I'm throwing in spinach in there. I'm throwing zucchini, onions, garlic. I flavored that up. I put some nutritional yeast on there. I even put hemp seeds on top of that as well. It is delicious and it's so much flavor. You will not miss anything else for breakfast, I promise you. Another thing that I love to do too is I've been marinating tofu. I made a lemon olive oil vinaigrette the other day with fresh garlic, and I let the tofu sit in there and chopped up little pieces, and then I stir fried it up. It tasted amazing, and I put it over some roasted veggies, maybe some salad. You don't always have to eat a salad. I love just doing a stir fry of veggies and beans and whatever, fresh herbs or what have you, to really add that flavor to your food.
Yeah, I agree.
Great, right?
Yeah.
But the best part is when you do get a cheat meal and you can have dessert. I feel like there's such insanely crazy vegan desserts out there, isn't there?
There is. And remember, no cheat meals. All meals fit. No cheats. No cheats. We don't call them cheats. They're all, if you want dessert, you can have dessert.
This is true. This is true.
And remember when we had those vegan desserts at Cafe Evergreen, which were amazing?
So good. So good. It's so, I mean, yeah.
And that's, and it, like you're saying, you're not compromising flavor by being plant-based.
No, my God.
I need tofu. Face Wilson says, I need tofu help. So Jen, tell Face Wilson how, besides, like, what else do you put on? Hi, Libby. What else do you put on your tofu?
Okay, so for tofu, I stir fry it, chop it up in little pieces. I also make it a scramble. So I'll put it actually in a pan and I break it up with the spatula, and then I'll add some turmeric, some garlic, some mushrooms to it, everything. I treat it as if you would treat you're eating chicken. Whatever I would do to like a meat or a chicken or whatever, I do it to that. The flavors I add to that. You can high heat sear it. so it gets crispy on the outside. You can air fry it. Oh my God, I've been air frying lately.
I need an air
world.
fryer. I do. I need one.
You do.
I need one.
You really do. And then also sometimes I just literally break it up in little pieces as if it's like cheese, and I put it on top of pasta, and then I bake it. And it is absolutely delicious. So tofu, really, there's just so much that you can do out there. You can watch any of my Instagram stuff when I add tofu to stuff. Typically it says tofu something, or air fried Brussels sprouts for life. Yeah, they're so good. That's my fiance, and they are delicious. We literally air fry everything.
You actually were the one that inspired me. I did like a tofu bolognese. So I put it with tomato sauce and a bunch of like different like garlic and onions and stuff. So I put that over pasta, and it was like just regular like spaghetti bolognese. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Faithful said come over for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. Her name's actually Sarah. It's a joke about the face thing, but Sarah Wilson. Sarah Wilson. Yeah. Sarah, don't worry. You are welcome over anytime. And I'll do more tofu recipes for everybody. Now, if anyone has any questions, we only have a couple minutes left. So if you want to put questions in the little chat box, I know that I've kind of gathered up a lot of them in advance, but if anyone has any couple questions, go ahead and pop on and let us know. Let us know about that right now. Ricky's talking about these jalapeno poppers with vegan cream cheese that I saw. So it looks amazing. We'll have to try those out.
By the way, that's one of the things I put on my savory toast, with the Kite Hill cream cheese. You're the one who turned me on to that. Ridiculous.
So good with, yep. Can pregnant women go vegan? Great question, Melissa.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very good, it's so funny that, Melissa, you asked that because I was at my nutrition conference last October, and one of my friends was pregnant, and then this dietitian chef, my friend was saying that she was vegetarian for a really long time, but now she's kind of, started eating meat again, and this other dietitian was like, you need to be eating meat because you're pregnant. And, I didn't fight her, and I said, no, you can very well be, plant-based. And I told my friend after, because I don't like to, disrespect anybody's opinion or anything like that. But I said, you can definitely be plant-based being pregnant. I mean, you're still going to get all your nutrients. More than anything, if there's something lacking, you're going to be on a prenatal vitamin. So which every woman's going to be on. So you can absolutely be vegan or plant-based being pregnant. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Good. I love that answer. I have so many girlfriends that ask me that, especially in the time and age of our life. It's people, I love that they're just jumping on board and realizing that we're not only doing this for the health of ourselves, the health of this planet, but the health of these animals that are, you have dogs in your home, they have hearts, and so do cows, and so do pigs, and so do chickens. And I mean, it's just really just to try and save our future. That's really for what it's about for me. It started with the compassion for the animals, but it ends up being more than anything, it's about being healthy, and I feel really good. So
absolutely. Let me get to the questions before we sign off. Cassie Ann says, I heard somewhere that being vegan or vegetarian can contribute to anxiety. Is that true? Cassie, that's a really good question. I have never heard of that. But however, if I look at it as, you have to think of intuitively, what does your body want? If you're forcing yourself to be plant-based and you're not ready to be there, like I remember when I was in my eating disorder, I was forcing myself to be vegetarian, to be more restrictive. It was causing a lot of harm because I was overthinking my eating too many carbs and fat because I'm not eating protein kind of thing. I wasn't ready. So that's the only time where I would think that it's counterintuitive to the body and can create anxiety. But other than that, you're still getting so many nutrients and there shouldn't be any trigger to cause that. Melissa's asking, any resources or tips to make sure you're getting balanced macronutrients? Great question, Melissa. I'm not a dietitian that believes in counting macronutrients. And the thing is, the reality is that if you're eating mindfully and intuitively, your body's going to tell you what it needs. And it takes a long time to get there and to understand that. But really, if you are sitting down and eating at the table, you're going to realize, yes, this is what I want. This is not what I want. When I go away for the weekend and see my family in Miami, I come back, my husband will be like, what do you want? I'm like, I literally just need a salad because I know that I'm craving something crispy, something fresh, and I'm lacking some micronutrients.
Right.
So just that you kind of learn as you go along. You have to just trust your body in the process. Like Jen was saying that I was like, girl, just eat the watermelon, just go. Like, so your body really balances itself. Any other questions? I don't think so. Jen, do you have any thoughts?
I just want to say thank you so much. It has been such a journey for me to go vegan, to start off having this Instagram being about cooking and sharing healthy tips with people, and then it being more about being plant-based. And I appreciate the fact that you came on with your knowledge to answer people's questions, because it happens all the time. You know, I get crazy questions and I get loving questions and I get people that raise an eyebrow to me. So I get it. I totally get it. It seems like this is really the new wave of what's happening right now, and there's a movement. So I appreciate you coming in on the medical side and really helping answer questions for people that are confused. So I'm going to keep this up for 24 hours. I will tag you as well. Please go follow Gisela. She is amazing. Like I said, well, I literally had to write it down. She's been in Self Magazine, Pop Sugar, US News, Reader's Digest, if you're just logging on, Shape Magazine, Redbook, ABC News, and those were the only 10 that I wrote down. There was like 40. You're a total badass, and I so appreciate you, my friend, full-time working mom, and just a total badass. Love you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Love you too. All right. Well, good night,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
If you want more information about Gisela Bouvier, you can visit mindfullyintuitivenutrition.com or check below, and I left a link for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and definitely leave a comment if you like this, or if you have any suggestions or want to see recipes. Thanks for joining me.